Hey guys, today I'm bringing you another Wi-Fi battle. This one is against Nappy, and we're both using very OU Pokemon. Like, look at this. Look at my team, look at his team. Very OU. It has OU written all over it. As a matter of fact, we both have a Talonflame, we both have an Excadrill, and we both have a Tyranitar, just to show you how OU our teams are. No, I'm kidding. That was completely, like, that was actually a coincidence. I don't know how that happened, actually. Now looking at his team, it's pretty obvious what the Mega Evolution is there. It's more than likely the Venusaur, because I don't think the Tyranitar, you know, Tyranitar can battle on its own, but Venusaur can too, but it's better to have a Mega Venusaur and a Tyranitar than to have a Mega Tyranitar and a normal Venusaur, you know? On my team, it's pretty obvious that Dragonite is the Mega Evolution. I mean, who wouldn't have Dragonite as the Mega Evolution in their team? I mean, come on, are you serious? Tyranitar can work on his own, okay? Definitely not the Mega. The Mega was Dragonite. But anyway, let's get started on this very long-awaited, very heated battle. So he sends out his Rotom, and I start out with my Excadrill, my Mold Breaker Excadrill. It says Mold Breaker right there, just to remind you that I have the Mold Breaker. But he starts off with the Will-O-Wisp right there. He stays in with the Rotom and uses Will-O-Wisp. Now I'm very confident, you know, so I stayed in as well. Used Earthquake. Very confident in my Earthquake, you know, thought it would take a lot of damage, you know, it would take a lot of that Rotom's HP, but it actually got a crit and got rid of the Rotom first turn. So the first turn was actually very bad for Nappy here because a Pokemon's already gone. So the battle is like really fast paced right now. Like, he's bringing out the Venusaur. He's already like, all right, I'm gonna bring out my Mega, you know, I'm gonna need to show him this Mega Ring. I'm gonna need to show him, you know, some power. So he brings out his Mega Venusaur over here, which really isn't a big deal right now to my Talonflame. You know, I lose a turn here switching right into my Talonflame. But, you know, I'm not going to be able to do anything to that Venusaur with a burnt Excadrill. So, obviously, Talonflame is out here with the Brave Bird, the Gale Wings. I'm about to attack this Mega Venusaur, but, ooh, it leaves. It leaves the field. Switches right into Tyranitar. Perfect switching. It's actually a very perfect switching unless you know, have U-turn on your Talonflame, which a lot of people do. A lot of people do that, like Choice Band, U-turn, Brave Bird, you know. They don't do the Life Orb thing. They do that. But this is very bad because you don't want to stay in against a Tyranitar. I mean, what is a Talonflame going to do to a Tyranitar? You know, unless you have U-turn and you're leaving, but even then, you're leaving. You're not doing anything to it. You're you know, dealing some damage, but you're leaving. So you're a coward either way. Anyway, Abused Mole comes right out. I'm floating in the air with my air balloon. You know, an air balloon is good enough just to, you know, lift this thing up. My air balloon pops though, so this is pretty bad. I'm burned. So what am I gonna do here? I'm gonna try to go for the Earthquake here, even though I'm burned. I'm gonna go for the Earthquake here. But he switches into his Mega Venusaur and takes an Earthquake. Now, I wasn't sure how much this was going to do, but it actually did a little bit more than I thought it was going to do. Just a little bit. And the Sandstorm even hits it a little bit more, just for me. Just hits it right there in the face, you know. All this sand, you know, a giant dinosaur-like Pokemon, Venusaur, the sand just hits him. And, you know, I go for another Earthquake there. He goes for an Energy Ball there, and I sacrifice Abused Mole because, you know what, I had to leave him out there. What was I going to do? What was I going to do? I didn't have anything for this thing. I wanted a safe switch, and if I switched my Talonflame in, he was going to switch his Tyranitar in. This man has been switching in and out. All I've been seeing right now is just switching. Switching and switching and switching and switching. How many times has this guy, like, I need a counter for how many times this guy has switched already. But anyway, I go for the Swords Dance here. I'm trying to set up. I try to set up on the Venusaur again, which I actually did in my previous battle with Moody Pones. I actually try to set up on a Venusaur too. It's because, like, Venusaur can't really touch an Aegislash either, but I really can't touch that thing either. So, you know what? I don't know. But the Mamoswine switch-in was kind of questionable here because the Sacred Sword is obviously going to take down a lot of HP. I know this was a crit, but it was going to do a lot of HP regardless. Anyway, you know, lives with a Focus Sash, whatever. So I go for the Shadow Sneak. You know, this was actually intended for the Mamoswine. I knew I was expecting the Ice Shard. I was, but I wasn't too scared of the Ice Shard. I wasn't too scared of it. Should have been though. You know, a better move would have been to go for the King Shield right there, expecting the Ice Shard, and you know, doing that so that I could live the Ice Shard and then go for the Shadow Sneak next turn. because, yeah, I mean, it would have worked. It wouldn't have hit me that one turn. But anyway, we're with the Talonflame right now. So I go for the King Shield, which was the most obvious play. I mean, you should have seen this. Why would you go for Brave Bird? Now you're forced to switch out, and you're just upset now. So the Tyranitar comes right out. Well, I don't know what he's doing anymore, because Tyranitar against the Aegislash, come on, what are you doing? What are you doing today? What are you doing right now at this very moment? What are you doing? What are you doing? Anyway, I go for the Shadow Sneak here. Bah! Right from down under. You didn't even see me. Coming right under you right there. So yeah, I'm not sure. Did I set up? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Did I set up? I don't remember. I think I did. Did I? I don't remember. So he switches out Tyranitar. This guy's just switching in and out. It's not working. Why are you switching in and out? Why? Tell me. Can you talk to me? Can you talk? This thing has a mic, right? Yo, why do you keep switching in and out? Stop switching in and out. But anyway, this thing hits me with the Earthquake, the almighty powerful Earthquake. And I'm left with 21 HP. Now this is something to worry about. Something to worry about, because this is bad. 21 HP. But I just hit you with the Sacred Sword because I'm not playing any games right now. Okay, you're gonna hit me, I'm gonna hit right back, striking right back. The Excadrill goes down. This guy is in a lot of trouble. I mean, he's been switching in and out, so his Pokemon are pretty weakened. This is actually what I meant here. I should have went for King Shield here. I actually got kind of ahead of myself right there in the commentary earlier, but I should have went for the King Shield here. It would have helped me out a lot. I would have protected myself against that, lived the Ice Shard the next turn, and would have gone for the Shadow Sneak. So the Mamoswine goes for Ice Shard here. I think he's just giving up at this point. He's just like, I can't really do anything. I'm not gonna switch and get a hit from this Choice Banded Azumarill. I mean, if you couldn't tell this thing was Choice Banded, then you need to die, because look at the nickname. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's like thrown out there just for you, you know. But anyway, he makes a pretty bold move here, because sometimes I actually give my Azumarill a different item just to trick people with the nickname. You know, it's Tough Choice, so people think it's Choice Banded, but you know, I hit you with that surprise waterfall after the play rough. They're like, whoa, how did you switch moves? Well, it's because I wasn't even holding a Choice Band, bro. But so he made a pretty risky play here, I guess. But I'm pretty sure he knew I was holding the Choice Band. He must have been pretty sure for him to Swords Dance and then Brave Bird. But it worked out for him because my Azumarill is out of the field. He doesn't have to worry about it anymore. Not anymore. But I also have my own weapon, which is, ooh, kill him, my Tyranitar. And I lied to you guys in the beginning. This is my Mega Evolution here. My Mega Evolution is Mega Tyranitar. So Mega Tyranitar here is obviously gonna tank anything that the Talonflame is gonna bring. You know, even with Sword Stance, it's gonna do, you know, not even that much damage. I don't have to worry about that. Even if it was a crit, I wouldn't have had to worry about that. But anyway, I go for the ×4 effective Rock Slide, and the Talonflame, whoo, dies. 0 HP, 0, 0, 0. So he brings out Drax, which is his Tyranitar. The only difference is that the spikes on my back are way longer, which gives me a very nice, you know, speed. Have you guys seen Sonic the Hedgehog? You know, those little spikes right there, that's what gives you the speed, man. So with that, I defeated Nappy with my OU team. Even though we both had, you know, 3 of the same Pokemon, I rocked them better. No, I'm kidding. It was a good battle. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to click like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.